On this episode of the Show Rundown, we're going to be talking about the show Adventure Time. What will our thoughts be? Final say? Find out on the Show Rundown. Welcome back to another episode of the Show Rundown with JJ Marshall and Gavin Ali.
On this episode of the Show Rundown, we will be talking about Adventure Time. So, JJ, what is Adventure Time about?
Yeah, it's a show about, it's kind of like a fantasy land. They live in like a forest. There's Finn the human and Jake the dog. They live together in a treehouse.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of characters in there. Do you mind explaining some of them?
Sure, you got Jake, the dog.
Yeah.
Then you got the little robot guy.
BMO?
BMO, yeah. And then you got Finn the human. It's been a while, so I'm rusty on all these characters.
It's fine.
You got the princess, the ice princess,
Ice King?
Ice king,
Yeah, not Princess.
pink princess.
Princess Bubblegum, yeah.
Yeah. How do you know more about the show than I do?
I do my research, Yeah, but Adventure Time, I heard that it goes a lot in depth with the characters, and especially the character relations that happens throughout the show. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Oh, I would agree 100%.
Yeah, there's definitely some dynamics that fit, that work, some relationships that fully showcase the power of good writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had to compare Adventure Time to one show, what would that show be?
I'd probably compare it to Gumball. It's very similar. The Cartoon Network shows, you got the fantasy aspect, the relatable aspects.
Yeah, I see that, absolutely. So there's similarities, obviously. Like, Cartoon Network show, both were part of the big three of the 2010s that brought Cartoon Network in its Renaissance era.
Sure.
Yeah. But there's also some differences to it, like you say.
Two completely different premises.
Yeah, exactly. One's focused more on fantasy, while the other one's more focused on...
It's like more reality.
I wouldn't say reality.
Not reality, but
more or less like everyday life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back after this.
All right, we are back with the show rundown, and it is time for our review. So, JJ, do you think that Adventure Time is a good show?
I would say, yeah, it's a great show. It was probably one of my favorite shows growing up. I used to have the little hat and everything.
Interesting. And why do you think this way?
I mean, for me, there's a big nostalgia factor, like watching it when I was younger. I just think it's a great storyline, really good writing. I just think it's a great show.
Interesting. What is the audience for the show? And even if you're nostalgic blind, do you think someone who doesn't have nostalgia blind can go into the show?
Oh, 100%. I think it's a show for everyone. Probably more teens, kids, but I think anyone could really enjoy Adventure Time.
All right.
All right, that's all for our 12th episode of the Show Rundown. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.